Buying here in Ocean City has only gotten more expensive, especially over the last 2 years. So let's take a look at what you can get for less than $500,000 on the island. If you don't already know, my name is Nick Deckard. I am a local realtor here on the island with eXp Realty. And this is the second video in the series of what does a certain dollar amount get you here in Ocean City. So if you want to see more of this, definitely make sure you hit subscribe down below and turn on the notification bell, because I will be putting the rest of the series out over the coming Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays until I run out of price points. So with that said, let's take a look at what's out there right now for under $500,000. All right, so not only are we going to look through each property that's out there right now as of the recording of this video, but I want to talk you through what you can expect to come onto the market here in the coming months in 2022. So in general, you're going to be looking at units ranging from 1 to 3 bedrooms, and most typically these are going to be either condo-tel units or your traditional condos. You are highly unlikely to find any single family homes in this price range at the current time. Now, some people prefer and will only buy in a townhouse style condo. So there are a few of those out here at the moment, and you can expect to see more of those as the market continues to grow and change. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at what's out there right now. So we're going to just bang down the list here. At 1008 Wesley is Santa Barbara. This is a condo, and this is a 1-bed, 1-bath condo. This is in a great central location. You have the ability to rent here. This is not a pet-friendly unit. I will do my best to highlight all of those, but if you are looking for pet-friendly units only, make sure you click the link down in the description to my free condo guide that will lay all of that out for you so you can make an easier choice. So Santa Barbara is a good, solid location. That is not an unreasonable price given the condition of that particular unit. So that one's not too bad. Now over here, we have a totally different style, another condo complex, and this is called Four Seasons. Now, in terms of location, this one is way over here near 34th Street, back near my neighborhood of Marion Park. So it's way away from the heart of town. It is away from the boardwalk. So if you're looking for a quiet place, this is a good option. Now, in this particular complex, there are a lot of primary and secondary homeowners. Weekly rentals are not allowed. This one is pet friendly, so this does make a great fit for certain buyer types. And again, there will be a link down here in the description as well to this exact list of what is out there at the moment under 500,000. So you can take a look at these pictures for yourself. Now, this unit right here is actually a commercial unit. It was flagged improperly in the MLS. We're going to disregard that one. Coming up next, we have a condo-tel unit at Sun Beach. And if you've driven up 9th Street, coming straight over the bridge up to the boardwalk, you may or may not have noticed it, but you did definitely pass this. It's right on the right-hand side on the corner of Wesley and 9th Street. Now, this unit that's available is a 2-bed, 2-bath. This is the converted hotel front desk area. This property used to just be a hotel, but has since been converted. So this is a very unique property. This one has excellent rental income and actually would have a solid ROI. There are some financing limitations on it, but this would be a good investment, particularly, but I could also see where you may view this as a good primary or secondary home. I believe about 15 of the unit owners in there are either primary or secondary owners who do not rent. With that one out of the way, now we have the Flanders. You've definitely seen the Flanders, heard of the Flanders. It is one of the historical centerpieces of the island. Now, this unit is a 2-bed, 1-bath, actually at a fairly reasonable asking price, all things considered, given the location. Now, the Flanders is a condo-tel. And again, if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say condo-tel, there will be a link right here above where you can check out the video that will walk you through exactly how a condo-tel functions so you can see if it would be a good fit for you and your needs. Now, that Flanders unit, all Flanders units are generally furnished the same. It just comes down to location inside of the building and the rental income. So you can take a look at that one if that is your forte and you like that particular part of town. Now we start to get a little bit interesting here as we get higher into the 400s, closer to 500. We have a unit here at 500 Bay. Now, 500 Bay is a almost exclusively primary and secondary home complex on the bay. Now, unlike some other condo complexes on the bay, this actually doesn't have any access to the bay. There are not boat slips. There is no marina. There is nowhere to launch a kayak or a paddleboard on site. That said, there is the Bayside Center just steps away that does have a ramp that you can launch from. So don't totally discount this. And the fact that there is no marina, if you're not a boater, you're not paying for the upkeep of the dock and all of the things that go with that. So there are pros and cons to not having that direct access on site. There's a pool, it's filled with amenities. If you're looking for a solid, quiet place with a view, then this is an excellent option. Now, coming up next, we have one of the very few fixer-uppers that I think you'll generally find on the open market. A lot of these get scooped up by developers or flippers before they ever hit. They're sold directly from owner to buyer. But this particular one is a side-by-side townhouse that is completely gutted. So you could make this whatever you want it to be inside for the price of $448,000. It is not move-in ready. You could not live in it in its current state. It does need work. So if you're looking for a fixer-upper, that could be an option to consider. Now, this one over here is another unique one at 2910 Asbury. This is a small building on a small lot. It is a duplex technically, but there are only 2 beds and 1 bath per floor. So this one is in an excellent location. If you're familiar with the area, right over here, you are a block-ish from the beach. It has some recent upgrades as well. It's a nice little unit. The thing that's holding it back, I believe, at the moment on the market is number one, that it is so unique and has no rental history. So you don't really know what you're getting into in terms of return. And also that price feels a little bit steep given what else is normally on the market for $450,000. So that could be an option if you are willing to work with some of the limitations that come with having a smaller property. But all that said, unlike these condo options we're talking about, there is no HOA fee. There is no hassle that comes along with the downside of what condos can bring. So speaking of more condos, we have Ocean Colony, and this is another one that is very recognizable if you're used to walking down the boardwalk. This one's right between 9th and 10th Street. It's just back off the boardwalk. It is not oceanfront. It is not boardwalk front. There are restaurants and shops that are a buffer between this complex and the boardwalk. But this is another amenity-packed condo complex, similar to 500 Bay, in that this has different sports courts. This has a pool. This has a hot tub. It has a game room. It has a community room. There's a lot to like about this. It is very much geared, once again, towards primary or secondary homeowners. There is a limit of 1 month minimum if you are going to find any renters or tenants to try to generate some income. So that can be a limiting factor as well. But it is a great one. There often are not many units that come up in there. And when they do, they tend to go quickly if they're priced appropriately. We have a very interesting beachfront, direct beachfront at 5447 Central. This is a ground floor, 1 bed, 1 bath unit. It does have a pull-out couch, but it is tight on square footage. Now, it is beachfront. It is down in the south end. You are not going to have another property come up where you can walk directly out your door and get onto the beach for less than $500,000. So that said, it presents a unique opportunity, and it is the only one of its kind on the market at the moment. So if beachfront getaway is what you're looking for, this does have reasonable condo fees. This does rent extremely well. This does not have limitations in terms of a weekly rental minimum or a monthly minimum. You can Airbnb this, and it would do great year round on weekends or just nice days that happen to come up. So that's an excellent option as well. Now, whoa, that was crazy. We have a few more left. We have 10 Safe Harbor, another South Ender. So back here, deep, deep south end, almost on the way to Strathmere and near Corson's Inlet, we have 10 Safe Harbor Drive. This is a first floor, 3 bed, 1 bath. And all things considered, this is fairly priced. I'm a little bit surprised it's still out here. They did just drop the price about a week ago by $20,000. It's a nice unit. It's in a nice location. I know I've gotten questions personally about the flooding situation here. I did follow up with the listing agent on that. And there was no water inside of this complex or this unit. Came up to about the 2nd stair outside, so it was close, but it did not get inside, which tells you it is fairly well elevated. So that is a very interesting one. Again, if you're coming down here for a second homeowner type of feel, that is excellent. If you are good with the South End, if you like the big beaches that are quieter and don't really necessarily need to be in the hustle bustle or need the rental income. A lot of you might be looking at this through a financial lens, and you need that rental income in order for this to work for you. And I totally understand that. If that's the case, this unit would not be a good fit for you, but others definitely would be. Now, 2 more to wrap up. We have 919 Pleasure. which is your standard 3-bed, 2-bath duplex. It is a little smaller in square footage than the true standard, which is around 1,100. This is shy of that, but this is right over the 9th Street Bridge. So if you find yourself loving to walk the bridge, loving to check out the bird sanctuary that's over there, this really does have a lot going for it in terms of its location. At the same time, its location is its downfall. So having that bridge noise is likely to be a persistent problem, I would imagine. And flooding back there can be problematic, even when there's just heavy rain. So there are some cons to it, which is why it's substantially cheaper than any other 3-bed, 2-bath duplex that you could find out on the open market. And last but not least, my personal favorite, I am biased, of course, as this is my listing for my clients at 420 West Avenue. Now, there is another video on this where I go in detail on the tour. You can click that link right above to check it out. But this to me is the best buy of the bunch, under 500K. It is a no-brainer. And once again, I am biased, but even if I wasn't, I would have the same exact opinion. In terms of condition, in terms of space, and the central location, you simply can't compare it to anything else we just talked about. So with that said, that is everything out there at the moment that is under 500,000 and above 300,000, because I just did a video on this last week for 300,000 and under. That link is right here as well if you want to check that out. Now, if you have any questions, reach out directly. My number is 609-602-2847. Or if you're feeling a little bit shy, you can always drop them down in the comments and I will get to them as soon as possible. That's it for this one. And on the next episode in this series, we will be looking at between $500,000 and $700,000. Appreciate you hanging out with me, and I will see you on the next one.